Hi everyone, this is Craig here from vaclassroom.com, and I want to start out by saying that I have been absolutely humbled and amazed at the comments that you shared in our blog posts over the last few days. Love the dreams that you shared. It was so neat to see the diversity of passions and interests and dreams that we have in our community. So thanks for being vulnerable and opening up and sharing your dream. And also thank you for your encouragement of my dream. I talked about my dream of teaching people and then even being able to teach people how to teach, which was a big passion area that I'll unpack a little bit more today. But thanks a lot for your encouragement, and I was also really excited to hear how many of you are interested in developing your teaching skills online or developing an online teaching platform or even being able to create courses and free courses for your clients. So very excited about this journey that we're on, and I encourage you to stick with me for the next few minutes because I've got some pretty important things that I want to share with you. But I want to start with a story. There is great benefit to having young kids these days because the animated films that are coming out are rich with meaning. They have great stories attached to them, and this is one of them. I'm not sure if you've seen Rio with your kids or your grandkids or friends, but this is a great story, and it tells the story of an exotic bird that is born in the jungles of Brazil and at a young age is snatched by thieves and imported to the United States, where he's found by a young girl and he lives with her most of his life, and he is the most domesticated bird you'll ever meet. And he thinks in his mind that he's living all that he was supposed to live and living the great life. But circumstances happen where him and his owner go to Brazil, and quickly he realizes that the life he was intended to live, he's not living. Because you see, he can't fly. He's never been able to fly. He's never been able to do the one thing that he was created and designed to do. And at the end of the show culminates with him flying for the very first time to save the bird that he loves. It's a great picture, great meaning. But it really encapsulates a lot of what we've been talking about in our blog posts about, each one of us having a dream, something that we were intended to do, we are created to do. And that's a big part of what has been going on in my heart as I have this great desire, obviously, to teach people, which has been certainly done with all that I've done at VA Classroom, but also this desire to teach people how to become great teachers that go out and impact their students and impact the world in an amazing way. And I'll unpack that a little bit later on as we go into this. So taking the word Rio, in this example Rio, I want to build it into an acronym of what I'm going to cover over the next few minutes here. And so, this is a really advanced teaching tactic, taking the lead-in story and building an acronym out of it. But so basically I want to cover these three things. I want to talk about the reason why I'm going on this journey and taking you on this journey that we've started in those blog posts. I'm going to talk about the big idea that I have, and I'm going to talk about the opportunity that's available for you. Okay? So first of all, the reason. This is kind of my big why that I began to unpack a bit in those blog posts, but I have a bit of a backstory that I want to share with you. Now, first of all, as human beings, we all have this innate desire to learn and grow and develop. It's part of who we are as infants, with learning to walk for the first time, with going to school, with going to university, and so on and so forth. We always have this desire to develop personally and develop professionally and to learn. And the e-learning movement, the exponential growth that we're seeing in e-learning is indicative of that people love to learn. But here's what I believe. There are many subject matter experts out there in every domain, in every market, in every subject. Tons of brilliant experts. But I believe that there are very few great teachers. And my earliest experience of this was at college. And I remember sitting in an auditorium just like this one with a ton of other kids and listening to this college professor who had complete inability to teach and a desire to teach and almost a desire to even be there. And he just sat there and almost looked at his notes the whole time and just regurgitated information at us. And I had this deep thought as a young 19-year-old student thinking, this guy really doesn't care whether we're here or we're not. And, as a young learner, that doesn't bring a lot of inspiration to you. He was not a great teacher. And that really goes back to what I said earlier, is that I believe there's great subject matter experts, people that are brilliant, but very few great teachers. And I think back to those college days where I would leave the college auditorium after listening to a professor like this, and I would say to my friend, dude, that was really boring, wasn't it? And he'd say, yeah, I'm not coming. I think I'm going to skip class tomorrow. That was kind of the mindset that we had. But deep down in my heart, and actually doesn't occur in my heart, I'll explain that a little bit later, but deep down, what I really wanted was him to inspire me. People want to be inspired. They want people to inspire them. And when they go into a classroom and they hear a topic that they might have some interest in and they're completely uninspired for that 60 minutes, it has an effect on them in a huge way. It's a total buzzkill. A good example of this is my wife. She is a phenomenal interior designer. She's not by trade. She doesn't make a living as an interior designer, but she's actually really good at doing children's rooms. You should have seen this kind of room that you see here. These are the kind of rooms that our girls grow up in. You know, she's creative. She comes up with ideas. She grabs an idea from here and there and puts together beautiful rooms like this. So there was a time a number of years ago where she said, you know, I love this stuff. I want to be an interior designer. And so we had young kids at the time, and we didn't have a college program that she could take in our town. So she went online and found a correspondence course that was fairly well known. And she was going to get her certification and then start her own interior design business. That was her passion at the time and her interest. Well, she buys this course, and it comes in this box, and she pops in the DVD, and she starts to listen to this fellow. Now, first of all, this guy was quite old. He's not what you would think of the type of person that would be teaching interior design. Not that older people can't have interior design flair, but he was more like an older college professor teaching design theory. And so she watched the first couple of videos, and he droned on, and he was not a great teacher, and he droned on all about the theory behind design. And she finished those videos completely uninspired. In fact, it stifled her passion. And I would even go as far to say, as that's one of the reasons she chose not to go into interior design, was because she listened to that teacher completely uninspire her. Okay, and that is a sad reality that we're seeing in college classrooms. We're seeing in corporate training environments. We're seeing that online in many courses. People are creating courses where they're sharing information, but they're not teaching people, and they're not inspiring people. Now, there's this great quote that I love, and it's by William Ward, and he says, "The mediocre teacher tells, the good teacher explains, the superior teacher demonstrates, but," and this is what we're talking about, "but the great teacher inspires." Doesn't that give you goosebumps? Maybe because I'm just so passionate about this stuff, it gives me goosebumps. But that's the teacher that I want to be. Those are the teachers that I want to train, are people like that. Yes, you need to be able to tell and explain and demonstrate, but goodness, you need to inspire people. And I want to actually take this a step further and give you a really quick biology lesson. And, I'm not a biology guy, so I'm going to keep this short, but it's really important because it's tapping into exactly what we're talking about here. So this is part of the brain, and obviously there's a lot more areas to the brain than this. But up here we have the neocortex, and then below it we have the limbic system. Now the neocortex is where we process and receive information, and then we communicate back through the neocortex. So that's our language center as well. So we process information at that level. But the limbic system is where our feelings come from, our emotions come from. This is where inspiration happens. This is where, and also the limbic system is where we make decisions and where we decide to act on something. So inspiration and action come from our limbic system. Information processed to us is processed in the neocortex. So here's the bottom line. Many teachers today are subject matter experts. They're teaching people and they're only hitting the neocortex. In other words, people are processing the information, analyzing the information, but it's not touching them. It's not impacting them. And when we say, we have a gut feeling about it, or you've heard us say, you've said before, they touched my heart. Well, physiologically, that's not true. They don't actually, your emotions aren't attached to your heart. They're attached to your limbic system. So you might say they touched my limbic system. Well, the reality is many teachers today aren't going there. And so people are getting information and they're processing it, but they're uninspired and they're not taking action. And when you teach great information, you inspire them, it leads people and ignites them to take action. And that is what great teaching is all about. And I think it's sadly and sorely missed these days in many different centers and institutes around the world. And so that's where I come back to my bottom line vision that I've been talking about in the blog posts is this. This is my bottom line vision, is to create a movement of great teachers who are fully committed to inspiring and impacting their students and the world. Yes, they need to teach good information, but they can do it in a way that inspires people. Okay, so that's my desire, that's my vision, is to see a movement of great teachers that are going out there and changing the world in a great way. Seems like a lofty vision, but that's what I desire to accomplish. All right, so the next part of the acronym is IDEA. And this is the big idea that I started to unpack a little bit in the blog post that I shared. And ultimately, my desire is to help entrepreneurs like yourself create powerful and profitable online teaching platforms so that you can bring your message to the world. And that is essentially what we've been able to do at VA Classroom. And you see, the cool thing is that I didn't have an instructional design degree. I'm not a teacher by trade. That's not my background. And yet through the development of skills and working at it and honing those skills over a number of years, I have become a pretty darn good online teacher. And we've been able to build a platform that has impacted literally thousands of people in over 30 countries. And I couldn't imagine that we would ever accomplish what we did. And those opportunities are available for you as well. Now, I've done a lot of research out there, and I've been looking to see what other programs are available that teach people how to become great online teachers. And there's nothing that really is like what we're going to create, because while we certainly will teach you all the technical pieces of how to set up and design courses, how to build platforms, the right technology and tools to use, the bigger part of what we're going to teach is how to teach people in a way that moves them to action, that inspires them. How do you design a course that engages your audience at such a level? How do you build an awesome learning community that causes people to want to buy your courses again and again? So those are a lot of things that we're looking to cover in a future program. So as I've envisioned this kind of gap in the market, I've thought to myself, who is better to teach it than myself? From where I've come from and what I've developed with VA Classroom, and ultimately this being a huge passion area for me as well. So the third part of the acronym is O for opportunity. And I want to talk about the opportunity that is available for you right now. Some of you might be interested in creating a teaching business in your area of passion. And that's certainly a lot of what we've done with VA Classroom, because internet marketing and social media and all those things have been definitely hot interest areas for me over the years. And this is something that you can do as well. So this is an article from Inc. magazine that was written earlier this year, and they talked about the 8 top industries to start a business in here in 2013, and number 4 was online education. So you can kind of see the writings on the wall of how many opportunities there are for people that are highly skilled, great online teachers. The other thing is that there's many online marketplaces emerging where you can sell your teaching skills. And one of them is Udemy. Udemy has thousands of courses and thousands of teachers, and this is a place where people can generate a nice income from teaching areas of passion or areas that they're very competent in. So Udemy is one. Another one is lynda.com. They're always recruiting new teachers to take on new courses that they're developing for their large database of training courses. Skillshare is another one similar to Udemy. Again, they're always recruiting new teachers that have teaching skills that can teach in a variety of different passion and interest areas. And then there's niche ones like this. I came across this one recently. This is Chef Hangout. And basically what they're doing is they're utilizing the technology of Google Hangouts, and they're creating courses around a whole variety of different cooking classes. So chefs can come in, get set up, and they can generate an income by teaching people via Google Hangout and through this Chef Hangout system. So you can see how innovative and creative these teaching platforms are becoming. And then there's Craftsy. Some of you might have a passion area in creating crafts. There's all sorts of everyday people that are generating a good income through Craftsy as people buy their courses, whether it's cake decorating or design or whatever that might be. So another area that it kind of speaks to the different niches that are emerging in this online education space, which is making it really, really exciting right now. And then this one is really exciting. Y'all heard of Google Hangouts, but have you heard of Google Helpouts? You may not have heard of that. It's not out yet. It's going to be coming out in the next few months. But Google Helpouts is basically a skill marketplace. This is where you can sell your skills and teach people, whether it be on an hourly rate or on a flat rate, and generate an income. So even Google sees the value of creating, they see the value of teaching. They see the value of learning and how people innately desire to learn. And they're going to create a marketplace built right around that called Google Helpouts. So that'll be interesting to see what unfolds there. So lots and lots of opportunities for people that want to become online teachers and make a living at it as well. Obviously, there's other benefits for creating courses. You can use it for lead generation purposes for new clients. I have found one of the greatest free offers I've given away has been free courses. Short courses, free e-courses. All those are a great way to build your credibility and build your email list and draw people towards becoming clients and building your client base. So great lead generation tactic is using online teaching programs. Training courses for clients. For existing clients, you may want to have a library of training courses so that you can get them up to speed in certain topics to improve, that will ultimately improve the efficiency of your working relationship. So having training courses as a value add for your clients could be huge. Offline, online teaching seminars, whether it be online with webinars and teleseminars, or you're maybe speaking at a local engagement, or you're starting to get speaking opportunities locally. Lots of opportunities on both sides of the fence for you to teach your passion area, or teach your skills as well. So all sorts of seminars. And at the end of the day, as I said, it's just it could be an awesome additional income stream to your existing service-based business. Or it might turn into something that's absolutely full-time, like what we've done here at VA Classroom. And I think of my good friend and colleague, Kathy Kolyakovo. Some of you know Kathy. Kathy is, she's a VA. She started a VA business a few years ago. She took a couple of our courses, got excited about social media. Now she's got a thriving social media agency with people working under her. And then she's taken it to the next level, and she's created a teaching platform called Social for Business, where she generates a nice income, additional income, teaching entrepreneurs how to build a social media platform. So she's got her teaching business in addition to her service-based business, and that's diversified her income opportunities, which is pretty cool. All right, now here's my big offer to you. Obviously, I've seen that there's been quite a bit of interest and excitement about developing your teaching skills, or even setting up your own online teaching platform, or even using your teaching skills in the context of the services you offer clients. And that aligns with my vision of raising up a movement of great online teachers that are committed to impacting the world. And obviously, a more formal training program is certainly coming down the pike. But before we do that, what I'd like to do in the next week here is send you a free online teaching resource kit. And right now I'm calling this kit my 3x5 teaching kit. Because basically I'm going to cover 3 different areas within this kit. The first part is talking about 5 different types of profitable online teaching models that you can build into a teaching business. The second part is talking about 5 different tools, cost-effective tools that you can use to power your online courses and your teaching platform online. Okay, so that's the tools. And then the third one is 5, I would say, little-known teaching techniques that I often use that have helped me to be successful in the courses that I've created. Okay, so the first part is the types of online teaching models. The second part is learning the tools to actually power the teaching business. And the third one is some teaching techniques to help you take your engagement with your audience to another level. Okay, so this is going to be a really valuable kit. I'm going to send that to you in the next week. But first, what I need you to do is go below this video, pop in your name and your email address, and get on that notification list, because in the next week, I will send you this kit. And also, you'll receive further notifications of a more formal training program that we're going to be releasing here shortly. All right, so right now I'd encourage you to go down, pop your name and email address in. We'll send you that free kit in about a week's time, and then also some further notifications of some exciting things that we have coming down the pike. So thanks for listening to this extra long video today, and I will see you soon.